Well, welcome back. You know, one thing I wanted to talk to you briefly about is the tools and equipment and things that you're going to need. What comes with your course is called an inventory tool and supply list. Now, the way that I came about this was after 35 years in the business myself, what I did was I went through my van and I said, okay, I've had these key blanks, I've had these locks, I've had this, and I've had that on my truck for the last 10 years, and I've sold maybe two. Those items are not on your inventory tool and supply list. Another obstacle that you'll find in starting your locksmith business is not being able to buy the equipment because most locksmith supply houses won't sell to you. On our inventory tool and supply list, there is a company listed here with a personal friend of mine on here, the contact person for you for a nationwide locksmith supplier that will sell to you if you tell them that you're a student with locksmithvideoschool.com. I don't personally make a penny if you buy from these folks, but let me tell you why a good locksmith supplier is so vitally important to you. I'm thinking of an instance in my own life. I was on a job and I was trying to rekey this deadbolt off this commercial door. And what it was a brand new Schlage deadbolt. And I probably spent 30 minutes trying to get this thing apart so I could rekey it because I had never seen one before. And I tried and I tried and I tried. So finally I picked up the phone and I called the person that's on this inventory tool and supply list for you. And I called him and I said, buddy, I says, I have never even seen one of these. I can't get the cover off. He said, well, simply take an ice pick, put it right underneath the Schlage name, and just peel it off, and the cap comes off the front of it. The two screws are right there, and I was able to rekey it. So a good supplier is an ace in the hole to you. Now, like I said, I don't make a penny if you buy from Buddy your inventory. The agreement that I have with him is do not give one of my students to a counter guy. You help them personally, and I give him a ton of business. So when you say you're from locksmithvideoschool.com, you are a VIP in this man's eyes. So that's the inventory tool and supply list, and that's how I kind of came about this, and it's going to be vital to you. Had I had this list when I first got started, I can tell you this right now, it would have saved me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So the next clip that we're getting ready to look at is our lock picking course. Actually, on this we're going to look at several segments that come from two courses, the Lock Picking 101 and the Lock Picking 101A. We're going to cover the pick gun, we're going to cover tubular locks, and a bunch of different types of picks and things that are out there, the proper use of a tension wrench and things like this, and I think you'll find this clip to be quite interesting. Let's take a look at that clip right now. Well, welcome back. First thing I want to talk about is the tension wrench. Let me say something about the tension wrench. Most locks are not open primarily because of not using the tension wrench properly. Let's take a look at the various different types of tension wrenches that are available to us. Southern Ordnance has come out with this particular type of a tension wrench. First of all, the tension wrench is used to apply light into the lock, start in the back of the lock, and work yourself forward. Now, if I've done all these back and forth, frontwards and back there it opened again, and back and forth, what I'll do is my last avenue, if I'm going to be using picks only, my last avenue is to take the pick, I'm going to tighten the tension up here just a little bit. Take it, let your pins drop back down, and go after it again. And there you go. Why didn't this lock open? The lock didn't open because I had this set on the lightest tension that it was. So I just tightened it up a little bit, and the lock popped right open for us. Insert the pick into the lock, being very, very gentle with it. That's exactly how I'm doing this. Very light pressure pushing in, rocking it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, for you to practice with now. The lock's going to come with two keys. What you need to do is you need to actually take, and I'm going to get a close-up of the extra key that you have here. Well, let's take a look at the actual one right here. You see that little tit sticking right there on the edge of that lock right there? You need to go in with the file, and you need to file that. Your tubular lock, you can either work it vigorously like this to get this lock open. See, I didn't push them all down. I'm not really actually trying to unlock this lock. What I'm trying to do is to show you the various different techniques. So you would have a light tension on here where you just barely turn that. To keep in mind, if I turn this like that, let me tell you something. You could stand on that pin and it would bend it before it would actually open it. So you don't want to do that. You want to just take it and just tighten it about like that, and then push it all the way down and do it. You know, you can do it either like this, going down into the lock like that, pushing it all the way down in, and then actually backing it out, and actually letting, as you're wiggling it like that, what's happening is, don't think, friends, that you can just walk up to any high security tubular lock and just things going to blow open for you. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to work these different techniques that we talked about. You're going to have to practice at it. The more you practice at it, the better you're going to get. So let's take a short break. We'll come back. We'll pick this. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to actually, what if we can't get a door open? You know, what if we get out on a job and we just absolutely can't get the door open? What we're going to do is I'm going to drill, actually physically drill a lock open that I did able to get picked open, but I'm going to pretend as though I didn't so you can have a good understanding. The cuts in this key are 2, 7, 1, 4, and 6. Now if you'll notice, the cut closest to the bow, or closest to the front of the lock, the first cut is a 2, which is right there. Then it jumps to a 7, which is a very deep cut, but then right behind it is a 1. That makes this lock very hard to open. The reason is, as you get your pick into the lock and you go back to push up that 1 pin, you will push the 7 up too far, and it'll make it very, very difficult to actually open this. The way I originally opened I basically started for my bit. Now, the bit that I'm going to start with on this is I'm going to start with the 5/32. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill straight in. Now keep in mind there's 5 pins in here. I know that this is a 5-pin plug. And as you hit that soft pin, the drill's going to go, and you're going to count them as you go. If there's any question that it may be a 6-pin plug, go ahead and go the extra distance, but don't go so far that you're going to drill actually the cam off the back of this lock. You could still get it open, but you're going to actually maybe possibly damage the latch. Okay, so as you saw, we got this lock drilled open. Now, you remember I told you with Easy Set, the quality of this plug, it is 50 times what a quick set is as far as the quality, and that's why we had a hard time getting this open. But let's say that this deadbolt actually was a quick set deadbolt like this. I probably still would have went after it the same exact way. The plug is made out of like a pot metal. It would have went through extremely easy instead of doing one that was solid brass. But I did one that was solid brass because I wanted you guys to see what determination creates. It creates perfection, and it gets the people in their house. Quick set deadbolt. I could do this one of 2 ways. I could either drill just like I did this one in the same place, which probably would have been my first attack.